to do.
Yep.
With Sonics, you're like, okay, we'll obviously have to play this a little slower, but our defense is where we want to put our eggs in the basket, right?
Yep.
And not a lot of teams want to do that. They want the neutral. They want to play across the entire game. And Sonics is trying to show a different way to play, which teams really in general have just done that by having someone play super aggressive and passing them the ball with ult orbs all the time.
Well, let's kick things off here with this pistol round. LG on the defense, SQ on the attack, and we talk about all eggs in one basket. It seems as though we're focusing a lot on this A site to start for Sonics, while we have Miniature making sure that this pressure on mid does not happen. He catches Mata, but Mata is able to make it back safely.
Yeah, he knows they're looking for headshots now, so probably won't be peeking once again. They do have the wall down, but both walls, they have a bit of a retake one coming in as well from Tig's side. And it looks like they'll have a pretty safe plant, and this is one of my favorite things. I say it quite a bit.
Planted.
Oh, just off of the shock dart too, and dodges that. Is that you get a lot of 5v5 retakes. This Breeze is such a pressure map on teamwork, utility work, retake work. It's really awesome to see because you get this a lot.
Everybody's set up for a post plant. The poison orbs are already on the ground on this site. The first snake bite to come out. They got no more shock darts actually for Bob, and she's going to spot one right away. Now off the defuse. It's not even halfway, but we are pushing forward for the defenders, and it's going to be a tit for tat. Still an advantage going in for LG as they are closing in the gap right now into cave side. Mata continues to press forward. The defuse is coming in. It's all up to Crunchy. He's able to get one and a second one.
As they could to get the fight through, and that's going to favor the team that can kind of just stay steady and not have to do the peek and peek off each other and use utility to force you to the spike.
So despite a spike plant and a 1v1, still a save round for Sonics as they really want to bring in the arsenal into the third round to play against LG's anti-eco into this round. And it starts off well. Yeah. We did see B-Dog with a Marshall kill into a no armor, so that's a one-shot. Ion's already going to fall, and that's already one controller down. But thankfully, for the Sonics, they're playing double controllers, so they could still set and execute if they want to.
LG, little retake wires and traps over there. Our camera onto B as they have a little haul action. Haul pass though. Crunchy shows his and Dazzle goes down. Okay, Spectre work. How fast do they do this? Long range Specky. Okay, Moose.
That's enough.
He comes trailing through. Somebody was messing with his children. You can't get in that territory, Vans. You gotta watch out for the stampede.
And on top of that,
we'll see a little creep here from Miniature going through. We'll see if he can get any headhunters before he goes.
Exactly, because Spike is down. Nothing that they could really do here for Sonics. Miniature is just going to try to pop off. I mean, he's done it before. We've seen how clutch.
Messing with the Merchant right now. Yeah, he's going to stick on that. And we're going to head into this round.
He wants to get that out base.
It's going to be a bit of a default, yeah.
For Take's side, it's going to be a deep wall with the toxic screen into cave just to disrupt any type of attacker setup that's going to be going into the A site, because already, again, the same conditioning goes in for Iron. Usually likes to put this toxic screen every single round, usually at the same spot. But again, using the executes on different sites. Low HP is going to be Bob. She's going to fall back for a bit. We have made our way all the way up towards the A halls as trying to do a little bit of damage from Iron. But a nice kill here from Miniature is going to take down Take, who overcommitted a little bit towards the A-side cave. Trades looking to happen towards the A-side halls. A flash to come out as doors opens at the same time, but we're still able to get a frag there for Jason. Still, advantage coming in for LG as the off angles are paying off for the defender side. Finally, a nice trade-off, a 2 versus 2. It virtually at the same HP as Dazzle, though, gets sprayed down to low HP on the top of A halls. The lineup to come out, and it's a 1v1. Everybody on low health, it's actually still very winnable for Dazzle.
It is, and even though this is Sonic's first buy round, a lot of them have 0 credits, which means a win is not going to get them where they want to be. This is such an expensive round for what's happened. Dazzle here could really stick this in for the next few rounds if he can get this for the team. The econ for Sonic's here could be crushed.
Spike planted.
Thankfully, she gets the spike down. That's a bit of money, and then a jump spot. And a recon dart. So who's going to be the upper hand here on this mirror match of these two Sovas?
Well,
recon dart not spawning Dazzle, who's hot.
See how this works out for SQ.
Especially with Miniature only having a headhunter. You want to try to find out here for Sonics if eventually it goes on to an execution. Will Miniature actually be that first one running in? Because again, they don't have that duelist to try to dash into a site. He's actually trying to lean back towards his A main side. Oh man, the elbow gets popped, and it's going to be B-Dog that pops his chest. And that's going to be a trade-off on the other side of the map, though, for Country to make it 4-on-4.
Getting value. A lot of the trademarks always sit here at A. It seems like they've gotten Tig on maybe getting a little antsy on the push, or read that from what they've been doing. B-Dog and Dazzle come up big with 2 there, Vans. And the spike hasn't even moved yet.
It's about to get spotted, though.
They're just dismantling right now.
Tig has moved all the way down towards Cave. Thankfully, he hasn't seen that spike, but there's lurks after lurks that's paying off here for Sonics, at least to even up the tally for a bit until we have this 3-on-2. And now, crunching in right now are the last players of the 2 of Sonics, Iron, and Crunchy moving forward, and it's still going to be B-Dog that still continues to not miss. But you see how every time you have somebody down, the immediate trade comes back. If it's not directly on a battle, it's on a lurk somewhere. Yeah. It's working for a bit for Sonics. You got to give it a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
It's true. They rely on it, right? Yep. They have the utility to get a bunch of retakes, but you got to have the trades. Ooh.
Works enough. It's a 1 versus 1.
That's gonna be big.
Crunchy's going to get the plat, into the A site, and that's going to be Moose going for the full rotate all the way from B. Camera
You're right
has
about the trade there.
Yeah, true. And a Cosmic Divide to come out at the same time, right next to the spike. He's going to play towards that cave to get the fast rotation. Meanwhile, though, he's going to place another star. Really good here for as soon as we hear a tap onto the spike.
Yeah.
That's also going to dwindle down the cages from Moose.
Textbook here. In a big round. They just keep kind of mounting the way that Sonics has been buying. They get this one, and they'll really be able to solidify a little bit of armor for the next one. And every round has been really expanded. A fine economy right now. It is super thin. Both teams trying to continue their buys with just a bit of armor.
Take flight.
See how they can get themselves to fight here.
This is an early one. Ashley
double tap.
Pulses on 2. And we're trying to retaliate at the same time. 1 more to go. Unfortunately, no more pings coming out of that Hunter's Fury, and none coming outside for Bob. Thankfully, though, still a 5-on-5, and everybody's still holding a default. Nice recon dart that spots Iron all the way up towards A holes. Shock darts to push him back, but still a stalemate going in towards this A side.
Yeah, they're really trying to, and this is what you have to do is Sonics. We said trade, but also quickly make the opponents sweat a little bit. Pressure them, get them pushed back off their original angles, because you're going to be using a lot of your util to get into these sites, not to just clear and Sova drone an angle so you can move up halls. Everything is, what is this? Not expensive, but very important in the way Sonics has to use it with the way they run this composition and no duelists. So let's see how they expend everything here towards this B site. Jaesung's still full on everything.
30
and
seconds
they're leaving
left.
Crunchy just to the side so he can affect but still fight.
And that's the same thing for LG. They're comfortable of playing the retake towards this B site, where this
Always,
site
it
is
seems,
being
right.
taken by Sonics, because you still have Trailblazer and 2 flashes available from Mata 2. So there's that Q, the recon dart, and also on top of that, the trap wire. A lurk from Iron. It's not going to pay off, so Mata gets that kill. And that was an important kill for Mata. If not, all that utility that I just mentioned from Sky is not going to happen. On top of that, Seekers to come out. B-Dog at the spawn side of the Archers. Moose gets the headshot onto Crunchy as Jaesung is just trying to stay alive towards ladder. Gets pinged and hit by the Seeker. Stuck down towards this ladder as he swings out. Aims down the sight. One spotted towards tunnel. That's the first one down. The underhand to swing out for 2 blinded opponents, and Jaesung gets a second one. Finally gets traded out, but they're playing a perfect post plan so far, all thanks to Jaesung. 2 more to go. Bob and Miniature. A knock to come out. It connects. And the last one, it's a trade-off. Now the recon dart, you're just running this clock down. It's going to be Mana trying to run for this fight to at least get it halfway.
Again with the util right back in their face.
Same walls on both ends, but it seems as though we're focusing a little bit more towards back mid and B side. But look at that, Remington. We're just staying towards spawn.
Just hanging out. You can get out the beach chairs for this one. Just chilling by the water.
They'll be staring at the crabs just walking around. Yeah.
Interesting, though. A huge wall just like in their face. A lot of the walls that we've been seeing from TIG have been gone left to right and just kind of clearing the front way to cave. This one's like, hey, just deal with this. You have to pass through it multiple times. Kind of like a fracture Viper wall towards A there.
Yeah.
So they just wait for a moment to see if this gives them anything, with the trademarks being their safety. As we start to get a move up here. Little roam by Miniature with the op this time.
What's annoying about this wall, too, is that if they do get spotted and this wall comes up, that's just HP counting down to decay. There comes that defensive wall finally to come up. Another one on the attack. Flashes at the same time, and it is going to be this half-buy currently that we have for LG, but it cannot hold the site for now. We've had Crunchy in the back of the site. Nice shock darts coming out from Dazzle from the back of Orange, though. The spike has yet to be planted. 30 seconds left. One spotted towards the left side pyramid. A nice swing back to get the kill onto Dazzle. And it forces out the null command from Jason. Crunchy's going to work! And that's already a 3-on-1 to go. Moose with the...
Right now as they pull it back to an even game.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. At the same time, when you're going for a full execute, actually, let's talk about that a little bit later, because we're pushing out towards the cave side. A triple push coming out from Luminosity, and Iron's already falling. But with that is information that the B side should be weak, so Moose has to come up huge in the back of this B side. Owl drone on the defender side outside of Nest. The spike has now been dropped, looking for that second kill, denied by Miniature, who's pushing back towards that spawn side. Spike, meanwhile, has been dropped, though, and Miniature is posted right here. Trailblazer giving away his position as he has to break it. And here comes B-Dog on the other end.
Oh,
Spike
he's playing a dangerous game right now.
Woo!
Gets another one. Hides does have wall protection. He's heating up with that. Oh, a nice shot as well. Jason with the one tap.
That's what I'm talking about when you're playing these two together, but tucked around the corner, we have two immediate kills.
Big
So it's up to Jason on looking for a clutch. The first one in the front, now being spammed by Modder right after. A little bit of overextension from Midless. You're just going to place all your stars down, you lay everything out, and just like that, you're on a timeout for like, everything's on cooldown for like a good 15 seconds, right? So might as well go in, try to frag out, and that's how they're trying to get these pushes for Sonics.
It's awesome to see, and definitely worth another watch there as Crunchy gets taken down. Now you have hardly the smokes you usually have, just to the Viper, so not too hard to play around, but you usually see Astra sit back so they can activate, so they can do things. Being able to combine that is definitely worth a watch from a POV of somebody who's just hamming it up and making it a roll to make sure they are first in. He goes down this time first, and it looks like they will mainly play off this Viper smoke now, Vans, as they work through halls mainly.
They have to, because the only wall that they have is now being blocked off by a Viper's Pit from Tig. So here comes the break. A look towards that back. Miniature connects with a tool defense. Looks back towards the spawn side. So that's covered. We open that door. Nice little one-way coming in for the defense at least. Underhand throw does not pay off. Dazzle was not even blinded. An easy kill as they have that 1 man advantage for LG. Recon dart towards the back. We're forfeiting the position at A halls for Sonics and booking it towards his B site.
Oh, B-Dog, what damage can you do? Operator watching Arch. Got spiked down if he makes a shot. And it actually misses. Now he's going to have to deal with Bob as he got tagged for a moment there.
Got dinked too at 8 HP, but sometimes 8 HP is all you need when you're B-Dog. As we do have the Tilda Faust, but the cannon is sticking out, spotted by Moose. Viper's Pit on the attack, 10 seconds left on the clock. He's looking back towards that flank. Moose finally takes him from lower B, and it's all up to one player, Iron, who's been warming up before this game. Let's see if he's warmed up enough to clutch a 4 versus 1. B-Dog, who's been low on HP this whole round, is still alive. Back towards A main. That is 1 down, 3 to go. Snake bite onto the main B site. Oh, he just got tagged a bit. They know he's in this corner. Shock Dart down to 5 HP. Another one close range. We're running outside the smoke, and it's going to be Dazzle that gets the kill. A nice...
Ghosting in, keeping up for next round, but see what you can do with the economy you have to force a little. That's what Sonics is doing.
Early 0.0 towards the elbow. Doesn't actually connect onto Mono. Is trying to look down towards it from that side, and it's going to be attempt of a pixel plant potentially, if they can, inside this A site, followed by an owl drone. That is actually going to spot one out, and we got a snake bite on the ground, but we should still be able to get this plant.
Yeah, those bites bounce. Especially just on that edge, it's really tough to hit a Viper bite there. Almost has to take a day to learn it. And now it's up to the defuse here. They're trying to get some peeks through some shots and see who's close. They blast their way through. The defense isn't set up, though. That Viper orb could have been put down. It would have protected so many Vans, and they get a little too hot. And they head in. It is going to be a few down, but a 4v3 here for the defuse.
There's just so much utility to cover this. Like you saw at the Cyber Cage, a Poison Orb, but G-Sun connects with a headshot. Another smoke to go on top of that spike, but it still has not gone halfway. Bob, she gets the Shock Dart onto Moose. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, and she's going to get the kill and trying to get the third one, but it's
got his stuff up. It became a little cleaner, so LG figuring out how to get through these situations a bit here. The Sonics now has to come up with something different.
This is something new right here. It's a split very quick towards the A side from mid. It's a 3-2 with one still lurking towards mid side. The ult gets immediately canceled by Dazzle, but we made it on top of the staircase. That's Crunchy, Orange down, and a kill from Iron for a B-Dog rotating towards elbow side. So we are in an advantage by one player so far because Jaesung's still down with the null command. Here comes another one spotted on the top of the bridge. The spike has been planted at the same spots where you have Sonics retreating back for a pulse plant play. Moose peeking back out, looking for that trade. A nice double swing that had to come out too, so that's going to spot the last two. That's going to allow Dazzle to move forward, but a full kit right now for this Silva. A recon dart into cave. Does have Owl drone and double shockies, but of course, you're not going to go for a drone on a 2v1. A nice recon dart. Now he's pinged on the right side. You can play the clock. A snake bite in the front to prevent the push from moving forward. This will allow... Oh my god. Okay,
it's so hard. It's so hard.
You just love the angles, though, of these snake bites that when it bounces out the pyramids, but you're going to lose this on time for Dazzle. Looking to save at least your weapon. You're looking to...
Utility battle. It was more like, all right, good luck aiming as we just fire everything we have left to use since it was such a fast retake. So I think if Sonics varies that up and varies their speed, this is getting...
We almost duck hunted.
They're playing with fire out in the mid.
Oh, yeah. And nice kill by Jaesung. It started off so well for Sonics. A nice 0 point from Jaesung to cancel out the Blade Storm. You're stuck floating in the air, and you almost got opt down, but at least the Blade Storm will be back for B-Dog. He's lost 2 players in the process, make that even 3. Meanwhile, only Iron has fallen, but we still have the other controller. Crunchy's still alive, was lurking towards his B side, working together with Miniature, as we're still looking to duel and challenge Jaesung one by one with the lower weapons. But here comes the Blade Storm. There's that first kill. Everything's refreshed, but he's only down to 11 HP. B-Dog now looking to hold the shop side, but everybody's going to book it towards his B side for a plant for Sonics.
The slow fly. He wants to take this fight. He's going for like the flick hits too. You see him, he's just aiming a little bit lower there to knock someone's head off with a flick up. Not going back head height. I see a search coming down. So interesting to watch.
Definitely so far so good. 5 rounds on the attack, looking for a 6 to even it up on the half. A recon dart on the defender side, but no map control on mid for Sonics.
Oh dear.
We actually tried to go for our jiggle peek up towards the elbow side and a quick TP out. Miniature's down to 72 HP.
That was a squeaky bum right there, for sure.
Good reaction time for the teleporter though.
And that's not what you want, an operator right to start. So big ups by, what was that, Mata pushing forward and just kind of mess with somebody right away and make that an operator now no armor and even lower.
Rendezvous now back and available for Miniature, so he could set it down and teleport if he wants to, but the same setup coming out from Moose, and he's been strong in the back of the site. All of the Sonics are currently set up towards this B main site. Here it comes. They're going to try to make a little bit of utility towards his front side. Both trap bars are now actually gone because he gets popped by a 0 point and also a null command, but stays alive on the right side of the site, runs in towards the ladder room, and that's going to be 3 to fall. 2 more lined up, and Miniature finally trades it out. But in the back of the site, Mata's already rotated. Miniature's with this operator, and a Bob with the swing out. She does get the headshot onto
yeah, and everything else, you take it away, or but still, you have that moment where it's just like, let's get this challenge down. And Moose was able to take out multiple, get the retake, and now we see LG on attacking side. Sonics on the defense. Is this where they thrive?
There's that challenge. Miniature already pushed down towards the elbow with the ADS of the Headhunter, but after he got flash, he's going to rotate back towards the B site where you do have a very passive rotate by Dazzle. He's basically watching the end of A-Halls and also Nest pushes from the attack while we're trying to just slow things down with this snake fight on the ground, and he still gets the kill onto Mata as he's getting pinged by that Owl drone, so a great start for the Sonics. Although...
Oh, trade it back. Doesn't decide to move.
Big shock dart, though.
Big.
That's
that
one
actually
kill.
Looked great.
A bit of damage onto Tig. Bob in the back of Orange. She's just going to wait for the teammates to rotate, and that's already going to be Miniature on the top of bridge side. Only 2 players holding in towards the mid-side doors on the attack. 1 at Cage. It works out for a double swing for that kill onto Bob. She falls. Cage to come up. Miniature at the staircase. And we still have Crunchy. What a swing by Moose. Now making it a 3-on-2. The advantage goes back to LG as we also have pushed forward into the site. So this should be an easy plan for the last 2 players rotating in.
0 point and flash ready, but they lost Miniature right away. Dazzle wants to peek. Dazzle's feeling it. Oh, reloads in the open. What was not thinking that? Looks like we'd had a lot of
skew, and it all came down to that double swing from the A side main to the door case, the door steps to actually get those kills. It was actually quite nice. But that said, this round you hear the thumping from B-Dog going in towards A halls, and Mata doing the same thing up towards mid doors. A little bit of kills coming in for Sonics, but it's looking to be LG all across the board until Crunchy has another say, and it's stopped there by Mata. Only Jason now stuck inside halls. Does have one flash left to work with. No pistols, nothing around the area from the pick up. Actually, he does have a Spectre.
Spike planted.
ADS into this one. A nice dink onto Dazzle, but the position is now given away. All three players are just going to play the time. Not really going to try to hunt him down because it is still Jason. We still have players who are low on HP, and even now lower as Jason got one.
Goes again to something cheaper. This time it's Frenzy Armor instead of the Sheriff Light.
And then Frenzy Armor is, once again, pushing down towards A-Halls, this time with support from Mata. Aljon towards that back. Will ping one. Nice wall bang from Bob that you just saw through the X-Ray in Miniature's POV. That drops another kill. Now both players that push inside the A-Halls just got dropped, but at least for LG's case, they made it past the A entrance into bricks. But here comes a couple of stars down from Crunchy, who's been a beautiful anchor point inside this A site. Trying to isolate this 1v1 against Dazzle, and it works out. Only moves to go with this Guardian.
It's probably going to be a bit tougher of a round to break all that util, as I was saying. Like, this is the way they need to play, but probably not so much once guns come out. You just saw
that when it didn't have enough to invest into an operator into this round, nor Blade Storms for B-Dog to try to do something very early in terms of picks.
Good push here by Jae-Sung. If they identify everything, you can get a real good dart, but it doesn't look like he wants to use it yet. Just being an audio bot right now, figuring out if he hears any noise. You're just going to see that Molly as well, though, come from the elbow side. They hear trail, so he's actually picking up a lot of info right now.
Yeah.
And the intention of what LG wants to do.
With a big delay towards the Poison Orb inside B main from Ian. Jae-Sung's already down towards that middle pillar, while two other players are hopping out towards mid, so there's a lot of mid control going in so far. Or Sonics. Meanwhile, though, a very, very slow default for LG, looking to split and actually crunch down against Jae-Sung. There's that updraft. He dashes away, but the lurk's still coming in from that mid side. So we're going to have that battle towards that front. Here comes actually a recon dart where Crunch is going to get the wall bang. But here comes Jae-Sung looking towards that back because Dazzle is looking for that flank, and he manages to get that kill. Now Moose dropping in towards Sussy. Does get headshotted by Crunchy, and we're just getting one. Game. The idea was nice, though, with that flash to have the updraft.
Yeah.
It seems he was ready for Jae-Sung from his position. At least this round, we do have a Blade Storm for B-Dog. 4 Marshals here, Riv. 4 Marshals for LG.
Tagged up. He has so much recon.
Yeah. Aljon, recon dart, turrets on the ground from the trademarks. They have a lot of stuff. And a Sky, no Sky, sorry, but they have Jae-Sung with the 0 point.
Both teams, too. Yep. You got cams on the other side. There's so much to see you moving around this map. It's almost, you cannot do anything in secret here. How do you outsmart your opponent is the question. Let's see, 9-7. They're figuring out a way for now as we see LG on this bit of a force eco here. They have the money, obviously, to buy next round. So not going to be a problem. But a lot of Marshals, and I think Sonics has identified this to keep their head clear of any corners for now until the full site take happens.
That's where it makes it very difficult for LG if this clock running down and they haven't spotted anybody yet. Well, you're going to have to try to run in and execute with Marshals and switch to pistols when you're executing into a site. So it's not going to be that easy. So good at least on Sonics to understand that and playing it very passively. And so far seems to have a very strong stack. Well, make that a little bit weaker now. Bob gets popped off in the face by Moose. Here comes the execution inside that site where B-Dog gets slowed by the trademark, and Jae-Sung just gets the kill. Big. Jae-Sung's going to work. That's more players falling down. 10 seconds left on the clock. We're trying to commit in here to try to get a kill, but Jae-Sung gets a hat trick on top of that.
Frag by Jae-Sung there, and he's had 2 really great rounds now.
Standing ahead.
Strong Rev looks like we're going to change the pace a bit. We're going to try to go quick, and here comes that flash. Miniature doesn't need to go for a teleporter yet. We had a recon dart that spotted him too, and also the heal coming out from Mana should be helping out for B-Dog for a bit, but B-Dog's like, I'm going to go through. This is beautiful right now. A flash to the back of the poison orb so he could dash through and get the kill.
He was not ready at all, Vance.
No, that was super nice from LG, and that wakens up mid-side hold, A-side hold, and also an open A site.
Nice back and forth, avoiding a lot of that utility that could be coming at him. Crunchy, though. The controller fragger coming through gets finally dropped by Moose. Again, trying to hold that territory. The Viper ult comes out, and Miniature's going to answer back quickly. Now we're in the 2v2.
One enemy remaining.
The lurk from Dazzle, Miniature to fall. It's all up to Jason. Does have 2 flashes and a 0 point. At least understanding that Dazzle is towards that mid side, and once he clears his corner, he knows that Dazzle's coming towards A main. So you act quick. You fight inside this pit. You're trying to take down Tig, and Tig just never moved. After all that, just never moved, and it's looking so good right now for LG to win this 2 versus 1. With that clock ticking down and that snake bite, that solidifies the deal. LG is going to take the lead by
Dog. So still LG is like, we need to keep this momentum, but the rounds are expensive, and keep remembering that when this game continues to be close.
At least we do like the small changes of pace from LG. Sometimes slow default, last round super quick, catches one off guard. Bob, she pings one, she's looking for the kill. Here comes the retaliation from Dazzle though. That's only going to be a ping on one. Definitely, you're going to have Tig being able to get re-healed up by Mata, who's right next to him. So back into a default 5 versus 5. Nice little recon spots. Moose, shock dart towards the back of the spawn side, but it's not going to connect.
The position held. Nice little flick there by Jason to pick one up. And again, a forward read on the map. He's not. Double flash. Tries to get himself to safety. Jason comes up with one.
Are you kidding me? Jason, how do you stay alive from that? You know what? I almost cast a cursed him, but I blessed him at that point because he was dead to rights. Knife out, and the spray missed, and he gets 3 kills on top of that to actually give this huge lead for Sonics. Last 2 players, at least only one was spotted there by Jason as he falls to the hands of Mata. Ian's in the back of the site trying to hold his ground so that his teammates could rotate. 28 seconds left on that round, and we're trying to move in. Decay's coming out. Mata's at 1 HP, and they decide to tuck tail and fall back to A. Maybe even save their weapons. There's only 15 seconds left, Riv.
Yeah, what a trademark to lock them down there. I mean, you can't even really see the trademark coming through. It's going to bop you, and they get stuck getting just devoured.
What seems to be the name of the
get
game,
run
and
through.
where it works out is these trades, right? But no trade needed at the beginning of this round.
Nope.
The 2 that have weapons,
Sprinting.
they've already lost 1. So Mata loses 1 rifle. They have another one in the hands of Moose. They can try to fight this back. They're going to have to force utility, potentially, of Dazzle so they can pick up the second weapon, but they're just taking their time, moving up the ropes, and then the second one will be recuperated here by B-Dog. Meanwhile, though, we saw the Owl drone come out. That's going to spot Moose. At least he doesn't get tagged, but that also retreats 1 player back towards this mid side. Poison Orb towards that top. We have a bit of mid control, but for the last 2 players, the other 2 players of LG, we're trying to clear out towards the back of A holes. Looks like it's an A site soon.
Ooh. So much pressure already, Vance. They got themselves pushed right up in enemy territory.
It does have that rifle. Bob, though, she's holding it around towards the back of the A side, traded out by Crunchy, who continues to be very strong at that side. And what is going on? Jason, I think, has... How does he do it? Because he's a robot, you know? He's KO. So you know when sometimes metal attracts, you know, it's like a magnet where it can attract bullets? I think he has and we're seeing a lot more of these at pro play at this level right now, too. Ever since, like, looking at Champions, Masters 3, now... just the ADS is so strong for like these first shots. Even trying to spray on long range with that seems to be very strong too. And look at that, man. Through the toxic screen, a kill from Bob onto B-Dog. And Miniature with the op misses, but at least teleports into a snake bite. But Crunchy's there once again. They cannot stop Crunchy at this spot. We should just start calling this spot Crunchy.
Yeah, ooh, Crunchy box. I like it. Oh my word. Oh, he got shuts down. The Crunchy crumbles.
But at least it's still a 3 versus 1.
Yeah.
Tig's in a tough spot.
That Viper's bite was sick, though. I've been figuring out where Miniature was trying to get back to. I like that.
Yeah, would have let that
go. Or anybody back there. I don't know if it was 4-chamber himself, but this is going to be a 3v1 now. Tough stuff for Tig.
Poison Orb on the ground. Snake bite coming in from the door side from Ian. A jump spot from... How the hell do you stop him? You're double initiator, and you can't really push him out from this spot every single time from LG. It seems... usually an easy spot to clear, especially when you're playing your ranked games and a Viper wall comes up and then you have a dart towards that back. That person usually just runs away. But Crunchy always puts his foot on the ground and has been playing lights out from that spot.
Playing over there with wet socks all the time. I don't know how he does it. Just running around in the water, feeling content. Bob, starting this one off. Jae-Sung, look, starting off with the 1 taps, then he retracts to the hip fire. You always get a few out in the round. And it looks like they're just going to play this one slow. Sonics is feeling a little comfortable. You have a bit of money. You take these first peaks. You feel good. Even with Marshals being on the other side, but it's also the eco. So you're like, we don't want them to get too close so they can do things like that. Jae-Sung, 1 shot away. There it is.
Unlucky. 145 with the headshot. At least Tig is able to get that kill to avenge his fallen teammate. Iron in the back of the side, a debuff as Tig runs through the toxic screen. Looking in the back of Shadow. Dazzle gets headshotted. 1 more to go inside that site. And we praise B-Dog, but with the Marshal in a
spot, continues to go site to site, make sure he gets an early frag or early info. And then you just had Jae-Sung kind of figuring out everything across the map. B-Dog starts this one off, though, and just puts a stop to that for now.
That's what we want, for B-Dog to start activating and shutting down Miniature, who's been having like these free moments in the early 4 or 5 seconds of the round to push down, to gain control, to teleport away, get information. And while that happens, it allows Moose to lurk down, but Bob, she turns around and gets the headshot to even it up on a 4-4.
These moments seem to be happening all too often, Vans.
Agreed.
The shot is there, and it's just taken right away, ripped from the grasp. Small rotation over, ult from the front. So
unlucky.
Oh, they only have 1 spot to run. Fish in a barrel, and Crunchy comes up with another one. How are they going to be able to work this?
That way, Crunchy
Very
with
well,
the headshot onto
apparently.
Tig. Spike is now down. 2 more kills to go to win the map. As Bob, she's holding in the back of the site.
Remaining.
1 more to go, as it's going to be B-Dog. Okay, with the operator. Null command to look out. He's trying to look towards that back of the site, and somehow, somewhere, somebody's going to peek at some point. But there's 30 seconds left, and the Spike is down out in the open. Very, very patient play by Sonic so far, and that recon dart might give some information. So he